Sawadee Krap, I'm JP Mestanza. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Natapol Tipsuwan, Thailand's Minister of Education, was in Phuket along with a delegation of Bangkok education officials this week, inspecting a number of small schools in Talang that are part of a pilot project that aims to improve education standards. Under the project, schools with 200 students or fewer would be allowed to create their own development and management plans with help from the Office of the Basic Education Commission, OBEC, that supervises them. After the inspection, the delegation, along with the Phuket governor and local education officials, met at the Royal Phuket City Hotel to hear opinions, with the education minister admitting that the main problem with Thailand's education system is that they teach students to remember, but not necessarily to enable them to apply the knowledge, and that, quote, the COVID-19 crisis presents a good opportunity for us to develop our education system. To accomplish our plan, it may take another 2 to 3 years after this. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. 6,000 police had been deployed to protect the Crown Property Bureau building in Bangkok today from a scheduled mass rally by anti-government protesters. But as police rolled razor wire and steel barricades around the royal ground, protesters moved their rally to the headquarters of Siam Commercial Bank in Bangkok, of which the Crown Property Bureau is a major shareholder. The Free Youth Group announced the change on their Facebook, saying it was done to avoid a possible clash with supporters of the monarchy, who have set up counter-protests in previous rallies, and last week it escalated to a brawl last Tuesday just outside the Parliament building. SCB is one of the biggest banks in Thailand, and the Crown Property Bureau, the agency that handles the monarchy's assets and finances, they are a major shareholder of the bank. Police have begun to install surveillance cameras at SCB headquarters in preparation. Protesters originally chose the Crown Property Bureau as a rally site to bring attention to the monarchy's role in Thai society, the vast wealth that they control, and the taxes that they receive. The Public Assembly law forbids protests within 150 meters radius of any royal buildings, which includes the CPB, and police had heavily fortified the area, saying that's a no-go. Stay up to date with the protests and more Thailand news at thephuket.news.com. Phuket officials are hoping that the national government's salary co-payment scheme for new graduates will provide jobs for some 2,700 new workers by the end of 2020. Under the scheme, the government will pay half the new graduates' salaries during the first year of their employment. Salaries are set at 15,000 baht for university graduates, 11,500 for graduates with advanced vocational certificates, and 9,400 baht for graduates with standard vocational certificates. The subsidies will cost the state a total of 23.4 billion baht, but it only applies to Thai nationals who graduated from Thai schools in 2019-2020 school year, which would affect about 260,000 people nationwide. Phuket has been allocated a relatively high number of registrations for the campaign, and officials expected over 3,000 people to join the campaign by the end of 2020. So far, only 19 people at Phuket have been hired from companies, and anyone interested in joining the scheme is urged to register at the link in the description. Phuket Extra will be right back after this. The Lagoon Saloon Phuket, the LSP, is Phuket Boat Lagoon's newest nighttime venue catering for all private parties. Get in touch via Facebook to discuss. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. 9 underage girls were rescued during a pre-dawn raid at a spa in Nonthaburi yesterday, which saw 12 people arrested. The spa, which opened in June of last year, not only did not have a license, but was also being used as a front for prostitution, and police received a tip that they had been actively recruiting female workers through social media. 12 people were detained, all in connection with human trafficking. 3 Thai women have been named in BBC's list of 100 inspiring and influential women around the world for 2020, including 22-year-old student activist and a landscape architect who tackles climate change with her designs. The list is meant to highlight women, quote, leading change and making a difference during these turbulent times, and includes actresses, government officials, activists, and more. Panusaya Sitijirawattanakul, known as Rung, a 22-year-old anti-government activist here in Thailand, she made the list for helping lead the protests since they began back in July, and was one of the several activists arrested during the rallies in Bangkok over the last month. she became well known after reading out their 10-point manifesto in August at a rally, which saw her call on the monarchy to not interfere. Then there's Kochakon Vodakom, who is a Thai urban landscape architect and whose goal is to increase Bangkok's resilience to climate change by utilizing green spaces in a way that could be self-sustaining. She's created Centenary Park at Chulalongkorn University, and her firm is designing a 36-acre park in Rangsit that would feature urban farming green roof, which would be Asia's biggest, according to Coconuts Bangkok. Kochakon has already been featured on Time Magazine's list of 100 emerging leaders. And finally, there's Cindy Bishop, a model who was appointed UN Women's Regional Goodwill Ambassador for Asia and the Pacific, and had founded the Don't Tell Me How to Dress movement, which fights the deep, culturally rooted attitudes in Thailand over victim blaming in sexual assault cases. 4 new COVID-19 cases in Thailand today, all recent arrivals from abroad, including India, Mozambique, the Philippines, and Russia, bringing the total for the nation to 3,926, with 96% of total cases recovered and the death toll still at 60. Globally, the COVID-19 death toll has reached 1.4 million, with total worldwide cases now at just under 61 million. Thanks for watching Phuket Extra today, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. For safe, secure, and soundproof windows, visit PVCPhuket.com. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000, and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks-and-mortar investment, offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.